2 years has passed. From the beginning, we have heard you have to be patient. Okay, we have been patient, but now we have run out of patience and we need answers.
After much frustration with Canada, families of the victims of Ukrainian Airlines Flight 752 have carried out their own investigation. 17 months later, they conclude Iran deliberately shot down the passenger jet. All 176 people on board were killed, including 55 Canadian citizens and 30 permanent residents. Hamed Ismailian is the president of the Association of Families of Flight PS752 victims. He lost his wife and young daughter on the flight. He is in Toronto. Mr. Ismailian, thank you for speaking with us. Perhaps the biggest conclusion from your report is your claim that the flight was shot down deliberately and used as a human shield by Iran. How did you come to this finding?
You know, that we have talked to several experts, aviation experts, military experts, and we have some key findings in the report that can suggest that like the operator of the system was an experienced person and had some service in Syria, the capability and the capacity of Thorium-1 doesn't let it to misidentify a cruise missile from a Boeing 737. And this story of misalignment is not possible, is not plausible. So, and just put it aside, there are other information. For example, at least 3 family members, three of the passengers were questioned in the airport by Iranian authorities, IRGC, if they have American passport. They wanted to be sure that there is no American on that flight that night when they were facing the United States. And destruction of the evidence, bulldozing the crash site is one thing, but now we understand that the devices of the passengers were tampered with. And there are other perspectives on this report as well. But when you put all this information together, you can't make another conclusion. That I think this is our conclusion, but we still need an impartial international investigation to find the truth for us.
Now, you say officials in the highest position in the Iranian regime bear responsibility and not low-level military officers, as Iran claims. Tell us what you found on that point.
The members of National Security Council were the decision makers to keep the sky open that night. And the IRGC commanders were responsible of the war between Iran and United States to attack the US bases in Iraq. So they were responsible to keep this, to clear the sky. They didn't. Our report shows how they concealed the truth and how they didn't cancel all the flights. And PS752 was targeted when they used the passengers as a human shield because they were so worried about United States retaliation. And this is in their interviews, in their statements, everywhere you can find that information.
Much of the content of this report is shocking, but one thing that will certainly stand out to our viewers and anyone who's reading our story online today is that your report says DNA analysis suggests that some of the families were given remains that don't belong to their loved ones. How did you determine that?
When I was in Iran for repatriation of my wife and my daughter, the first thing I said to the Canadian delegation there, after I left the forensic center in Tehran, I said, I don't trust them and I know they don't do the proper job. But they said to me, Hamed, don't worry, they have hired an international company to do that for us. So I trusted the Canadian delegation, and now I think the Canadian delegation was deceived by Iranian authorities. At least 3 bodies were examined out of Iran. And unfortunately, we know that they have done a horrible job even in that part. And this is this has a psychological effect on all of the family members.
You talk about Canada, the Canadian delegation. Transport Minister Omar Al-Ghabra commented on the report. Have a listen to what he said.
Their findings seem to agree with many of the facts that the government's forensic report included. I know they have added different interpretation to some of the facts, and what we said to them is we will examine the report, we'll look at the evidence that they're providing, and figure out if there's new information that we didn't have access to, or new experts' opinion that we need to incorporate. So, we take their feedback extremely seriously.
What do you make of that statement? 2 points I want to point out. One, him saying that there may be a different interpretation, and two, that the government is taking your concerns seriously.
For the first one, I may disagree with Minister Alghabra on the way that we looked at it, to this incident or to this crime. That's the best word, I think, atrocity, a crime. Canada fell for the story of the 105-degree misalignment, and we disagree with that. In our report, there are facts that supporting that this misalignment couldn't have happened. For the second one, we saw just a statement came out a few minutes ago that Iran has not accepted to come to the negotiation table, and they have given Iran another chance. And they say we stand with the families in solidarity to get justice. Why you gave Iran another chance? Solidarity means to go to ICAO today, not tomorrow. Solidarity means that we need an impartial investigation. Solidarity means that we should now wait. We should not give another chance. So my understanding is some countries like United Kingdom and Sweden, they don't come along to pressure Iran. If they don't, let them go. We have to fight for Canadians. We lost 55 Canadians, and we have to fight for Canada.
If we just take a step back for a moment, I want to ask how you are doing personally and what it was like. You know, you lost your wife, you lost your young daughter. What has it been like for you as you try to get answers here and uncover this information?
A day like today, probably we had to... my wife should have gone to her office. My daughter should have gone to grade 6, and probably we had to struggle to convince my daughter to wear the face mask. But I can't even have the courage to go to the cemetery and talk to them, because what we have done after almost 2 years, why my daughter and other 28 children are not in school today, why we don't fight enough for Canadian children, I don't understand. So 2 years has passed, and I still don't know what happened to them and why they're not here with me. Me and other members of the associations, we have dedicated ourselves to this cause. This is a lonely fight, we believe, and this is the title of the report, The Lonely Fight for Justice. And we keep fighting, even if there is no support from any government or any international organization. What will justice look like for you? First, we need to find the truth. We ask for arrest warrants for the top officials of Iran. We need a criminal case to be opened in Canada. RCMP has refused that. They don't work properly with Ukrainian authorities. And I don't see the political will to take Iranian top officials to International Criminal Court or even to ICAO, to ICJ. Why we're waiting, I don't know. So today, this statement disappointed me again. It means that we have to wait more. But from the beginning, if you remember, they asked us to be patient. And we have been patient, but now I've run out of patience, actually, after 2 years and no answers.
Mr. Ismailian, thank you very much for your time today.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.